This was mile 1 of the marathon. My father was chasing me all over the place, so he got a bunch of video clips of me. For future reference, I'm the one in the blue jacket and light blue hat that the camera's focused on. So 1 mile in really isn't that far in the marathon, obviously. It's really hard and nerve-wracking because I bonked really hard, hit the wall at 6 months earlier, my first marathon in Boston. So at this point, I'm just trying to go as conservative as possible. This is mile 3. The first couple miles here, I was just not so much conservative, but I wasn't, no excess movement, but the focus was to fall into my pace as early as possible. I went out too fast in Boston. I was going about 7 minutes a mile. At this point, I'm going about 8.5, and I maintained that pretty much throughout the whole race. But at this point, it's kind of a weird time in the marathon because there's so many people that are really good at what they're doing in the marathon. Like, they've done it a lot, and there's a lot of people that go out way too fast, and they're not really used to that. So at this point, people are settling more into their pace, and I'm kind of fitting in with some people that were trying to run around the same time I was. This is about mile 5. We're getting closer to one of the many bridges of the course. Some of the bridges, they peak in the middle, so there was some hills because of the bridges. So at this point, we're looking a little slow, but that's because we're fast forwarding here to the 13th mile. This was a double loop course, so this was about the halfway point. At this point, I'm realizing that I've paced myself pretty good through this point, and I have a lot of energy to be expended in these last 13 miles. So even though we look slow, I'm actually picking up the pace here, getting lower 8-minute miles. This is about 2 miles down the road, mile 15. Much of the same, just I'm really starting to hit my stride, get my runner's high a little bit. Some of these people I'm running with, I'm going to be running with for the rest of the race, for the most part. Some of the people stuck with me, some of them didn't. I make some good work here, and I end up, in the next clip you're going to see, there's pacemakers, or pace setters with, that's one of them there hugging the cop, actually. They're holding signs saying what pace they're trying to run. So my goal going into the race, as you can tell by the title of the video, was to break 4 hours. It wasn't anywhere close to breaking 350 because I was 434 on my first one. So here, when you're going to see me slightly ahead of the 350 pacemaker. The reason for this is there was just way too many people crowding the guy. I wasn't trying to be at the 350 pacemaker. I just ended up there, and there was so many people trying to hit the 350 mark that it was just making it a pain to run. So you can see here I'm working past a bunch of people. So this is mile 17. Mile 17, I pretty much, there's the guy in view right there with the sign. I was just trying to get away from that guy, basically, and I just kept chipping away, getting lower. My fastest mile was mile 22. I ran 8:14. I'll post my splits at the end of the video. So that got me to here, which was exactly a half mile, or I think it was a quarter mile away from the finish line. But it got me here right where I wanted to be, because the last mile was actually my slowest mile by about 2 seconds. So I think if the race was any longer than 26.2, I really would have crashed. But I was able to hold off. I ran 8:53 this last mile. So going into this race, I had no idea that I could break 9 on every single mile. That wasn't really my goal. My main goals were to PR, break 10 minutes a mile, and then if I was lucky, break 4 hours. I ended up finishing strong here in 3:46:38. So I was really proud of that, because the first marathon I ran, I did about 10:38 a mile, and here I did 8:39. So big improvement.